I want to take you back in time to November 19th, 2006. The holiday season is approaching with Thanksgiving, Black Friday deals, and oh, what's this? Nintendo has just released their brand new console in North America. They call it the Wii, and it's the hottest thing on the market. But while the Wii was flying off the shelves, an unlikely competitor would emerge that same day. Fresh off of a flame broiler with pickles, ketchup, lettuce, tomatoes, mayonnaise, onions, and sandwiched between two buns topped with sesame seeds. Oh, silly me, I almost forgot to mention the secret ingredient. Backwards compatibility. The same day Nintendo put out their 7th gen console, Burger King would begin selling their own video games for the Xbox. At the time, the average game was selling for around $40 to $60 a pop, but BK would make a move that would change the gaming industry for years to come. They released 3 video games, each at the cost of $3.99 when you buy any BK value meal. Those were Big Bumpin', Sneak King, and Pocket Bike Racer. These were developed in only 7 months, and were said to be so quality that they would be turned into physical copies instead of digital downloads as originally planned. These games were everywhere. Even if you didn't buy them when they released, it's likely you saw a handful of copies taking up space on a shelf in a secondhand game store. Today, I'm gonna see what all the hype was about back in '06 by taking a look at Pocket Bike Racer. This is Burger King's flagship racing game, where the king, TV personality Brooke Burke, the subservient chicken from those old BK ads, and a few others, race around 5 tracks in a series of 4 tournaments set to their own unique rules. There's the standard race, which is classic mascot racing with items, Battle Royale, where you have to be the first player to land 6 attacks on others, the ultimate cone trial that's a test of accuracy to be the first to pass between 20 gates, and hardcore racing, which ditches the attacks and boosts that the standard race has, and instead forces you to win with nothing but raw skill. And to show off those skills, you have a small selection of pocket bikes to choose from. We've got all the classic stat types here, and the few that caught my eye were the White Lightning, Flow, and Rumbler bikes. White Lightning has the highest top speed in the game, but also has the lowest acceleration and handling. So fast that you can't control it, I'm all about that. However, it's a machine built for speedruns, so unfortunately, it's out. But that still left me with Flow and Rumbler. They both have the lowest top speed in the game, with Flow having the best handling over Rumbler's slightly better acceleration. The only thing I had to do now was test these 2 bikes and see which one performs worst. But first, I had to unlock Flow by beating the Ultimate Cone Trial, which didn't take very long. After that was over, I tested out the Rumbler in the 50cc standard race. It wasn't looking too good for this old bike, until I discovered the boost. Rumbler ended up getting a total time of 53 seconds, not too far off from first. Flow ended up getting a slightly worse time, and would also be crushed by the king by about 5 seconds, and that was also with the boost used during the race. It appeared that speed and acceleration have more value in this game than handling, so Flow was looking like it'd be my choice. But just to be certain, I went through this race one more time with Little Dipper, which has great top speed and acceleration. That bike would get the best time yet at 51 seconds, and that was done without boosting. So now that the tests have been run and the decision is made, let's see if you can beat Pocket Bike Racer only using Flow. For this challenge, I'm going to try and beat every single tournament in the game, and to spice it up a little bit since there isn't much I can do anyway, I'm not going to boost during any of my attempts. I know it was shown in the tests, but I've also chosen the Whopper Jr. as my character, because how could you not play as one of BK's signature sandwiches? To start the challenge, I chose the standard 50cc race, and before it could begin, I had to sit and wait for the game to load. Even for a game made for the original Xbox and 360, it takes a while to get started. So for more added fun, I'm going to give a rough estimate at the end of the video, totaling how much time I spent on the loading screens. The first race takes place in an oversized Burger King parking lot. You could even go through the drive-thru if you wanted. I missed the start boost, but didn't sweat that at all, because I had a plan to build up my attacks to slow everyone else down since I'd be lacking in boost power. When you pass through these cones, or gates, they'll add some power on your meter depending on the color and maybe length, I'm not sure. You can use an attack depending on how much power you have, or you can toggle the attack down to conserve power. I didn't figure that out until much later though. I was saving up for an attack that I named the D. We need the D. It'll usually lock onto whomever is closest to you and switch up their controls for a few seconds. In my opinion, it's the best weapon in the game. I figured using this as much as possible would help me keep up with everyone since I'm awfully slow otherwise. And I originally thought that it would go after the person in the position in front of you, but that was not the case. Why'd you go for that one? I wanted you to go for second. I should have saved this for the king because he was on my tail and got right in front of me as we entered the final lap. I hit him with a rocket and hoped that would slow him down enough for me to take third, but he has some incredible recovery and speed. He is the king after all. So I finished in fourth, earning 4 points. But it's only the first race. Maybe I could turn things around in the backyards. This is a much larger area with a few shortcuts, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to power slide. To do that, you just have to press A while making a turn. At first, it was seeming like this was gonna be a hard one. Everyone was clumped together, and I knew I couldn't win just based off of raw speed. So I went for a shortcut, but hesitated because I had a second of doubt, and then moved back to the main path, which cost me a few positions. To be clear, this was a usable shortcut, but I didn't follow through because I thought it'd lead me out of bounds. If that happened, well, you'll see eventually. That action must have tugged on some of the others' heartstrings, since a handful of them waited for me to catch up. Why'd they all stop? They all waited for me. Why'd they do that? I don't want pity points. Not sure if that's a bug or intentional, but first place didn't wait for me, so they can go to hell. In the second lap, I threw caution to the wind and took the shortcut, which helped push me back into second place. I was gaining on first and had a D fresh out of the assembly line and ready to go. It literally went to somebody else. Why, Pocket Bike Racer? Why you do me so wrong? First was widening the gap between us, and it appeared that I wasn't going to catch up, especially since I didn't take the shortcut again. But the CPU just bugged out or something? Either way, I gave it everything I had to cross that finish line before anyone else. Invincibility activate! Release the turbo thrusters! Okay, there we go. First place. This win brought me all the way to first overall with 14 points, though it was still anyone's game. The third track takes place in the garden of the king's swanky mansion. I mean, he's the face of a multi-billion-dollar company, so it only makes sense that he lives large and has all the exotic animals you can think of. This track was the easiest so far, and it's all thanks to cutting this turn right here. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you can cut this turn in every lap, no one will catch up to you. And if they do, just make sure you're packing. Flashbang! Oh, did I get somebody? Oh, I got her. And also maybe watch the trash talk because you never know. And I can't help but win this easy. I think I'm in the lead by a lot. I should not have spoken. This win turned my 2-point lead into 6, and I thought all would continue to be well in the construction track. Keyword thought. That's... Ooh. That's not good. It sent me back here, why? I figured that killed the run entirely, but the world's smallest violin started playing again, and almost everyone waited up for me like the good friends they are. They all stopped. They're fools. I'd soon regret those insults, because in both this and the last lap, I took a very long path following these arrows and missed a shortcut that the others must have taken. Everyone else was so far ahead of me, and I ended up in 6th. This put me 3rd overall, 1 point behind 1st and 2nd. With nothing but the final race left at Fantasy Ranch, I had no other option but to win. This track is my favorite in the whole game by a mile. It's got this SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom type music in it, and the rock scenery kinda matches it too. Though I think the vibe is supposed to be the Wizard of Oz, what with the yellow brick road. While the atmosphere was 10 out of 10, the race was not quite the same vibe. I mean, I wasn't second for the majority of it, but first place was up and gone, and I could not catch up to them at all. No attacks, not even the D could save me here. And even worse, first place was being held by Winston, one of 2 people ahead of me in the standings. With both of us heading into the final lap and the gap continuing to grow, I only had 1 shot left to stop him. Oh, D, fly straight and true. It's actually going for him. Somehow, the D finally hit the person I was aiming for, and bought me some time to catch up. The only thing I could do now is fire a couple of shots and pray. Oh, you missed! How did you miss twice? I can't believe that both of those completely missed. Should have saved up for the homing missile. Even though I lost, I still unlocked the 100cc race, but I won't be visiting that until I've conquered 50. Back in the drive-thru, I got 4th place again. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do here, unless you either boost or hope that the CPUs attack each other and ignore you. In the backyards, I was moving between 4th and 2nd place in the first lap. I assumed that the CPUs noticed I was doing too good, so they flashbanged me. And I think this is one of very few times that this attack worked as intended.
You know, an artist respects the silence and Starts the foundation of creativity.
It was only a minor setback, and I was back to second place before I knew it. So to throw it in their face, I decided to spam taunt. Again, being a poor sport ended up biting me, because I'd accidentally hit the one button I said I wouldn't and boosted. As you saw, it did cost me second place since I fell out of bounds, so I didn't reset because I was pretty much punished for breaking my own rules. Personally, I felt like this was a fair trade-off, but feel free to let me know that I cheated not only the challenge but myself in the comments. The last stretch of the final lap was closing in, and Winston and I were neck and neck, though Winston just couldn't match my flame-broiled swag.
Holy fuck.
Ooh, you see that turn? Did you see that maneuver to the finish line for first place? Did you see it? The King's Garden would be another stomp, and that totaled my score up to 24. 4 points ahead so far, and looking all right. As long as I can clear this jump in the construction site, I should be good. Okay, we made it. This only made a small difference. The real game changer was using the shortcut, which is a drop down from here to a lower level of the construction. I took it on accident and expected to fall off the map, because anywhere else you fall from would likely put you out of bounds. I stupidly didn't go for it a second time, couldn't tell you why, and almost scraped by in fourth, until I got majorly Burger Kinged. What did I spin out twice? First of all, that is a bit of a large hitbox. Also, look at this explosion graphic they have here, but I have no idea what caused that second spin out. This caused me to fall into fifth, earning only 2 points and losing my lead to Brooke Burke. If the 50cc crown was to be bestowed upon me, I had to place high and slow Brooke down. And boy, did I ever. I'll send in detectives, I'll send in police. Flashbang! Can't catch what you can't see. That flashbang kept her at bay, and now I put my full focus on Winston, who was back in first place again. Winston had a good lead like before, but what he didn't expect was
The D.
and a rocket behind it. Ooh, I think that got whipped for him. He just slowed down. He slowed down. We have a situation. Ooh, hit him. Yes. Not long after, the D would find its way back to me. Winston would pass me, but another D and rocket combo would slow him down enough for me to take first place uncontested. Oh, and Brooke ended up in fourth, which barely gave me enough points to win. Now I could move on to 100cc, or at least I thought I could. Apparently, each bike has a 50, 100, and 150cc variant to them, despite the stats staying the same. This meant that I had to play through the rest of the Ultimate Cone Trial to unlock them. It's a good thing that this tournament is typically quick and easy. With those out of the way, it was back to business. In a twist of events, I ended up winning the drive-thru race on 100cc with almost no conflict. Same with the backyard and the King's Garden. Even the construction site saw improvements. Fantasy Ranch also flipped the switch and turned into a race made for babies. The difference between 50 and 100cc was so huge. The bikes were faster, but it seemed as though the CPUs couldn't handle the increased speed, which made for easier races overall. This was the same case for 150cc too. Even I had some issues trying to control my bike. Jolly's on the last. What are some of these guys just doing? They just get caught up in oh. I was just clouding on the CPUs getting stuck and I can't move! It was so weird, like you'd really expect this to be much harder. After I beat 100 and 150cc, I shifted to the hardcore racing tournament. And sure enough, 50cc brought the difficulty back, especially since this tournament removes all items. The drive-thru was laughable. I couldn't keep up with anyone in the top 4. It was about the same in the backyards, though I did pull off third place in the end. The King's Garden was thankfully the same as before. Keep cutting the turn around here and you're good to go. But the run came crashing down on me at the construction site. And you want to know why? No! With no items to have my back, that one missed jump was the end. After another round of races where I racked up 22 points, I was back and better than ever at the construction site. Thank you, shortcut, and not falling to my Junior Whopper death. I ended up in second and had 4 points in the lead. All I have to do is play it safe in the Fantasy Ranch. Opted for the shortcut. Did nothing. I got kicked off! And so it goes, like clockwork. And I'd also lose on my third try because I just couldn't catch a break in Fantasy Ranch. Where the hell did he come from? But as I saw the subservient chicken drop out of the sky like a fallen angel, it finally clicked with me.
There's a shortcut in this track.
I feel so dumb for thinking that the slightly altered path on the bridge was it. There's a huge cave off to the side if you turn a little after getting on the bridge, and from there, you can cut through a large portion of the track. It was all right there next to me, and I was too blind to see it. Of course, it made the race so much easier, and I was finally crowned the 50cc champ after only 4 tries. If you're wondering, 100 and 150cc suffered the same fate as the standard race, so they came and went very quickly. As for the Battle Royale and Ultimate Cone Trial, they were both child's play, and that goes for all CCs. In the Battle Royale, you have to race around the same 5 tracks, trying to be the first to land 6 hits. It was a little annoying at first, especially in the backyards, because it's so big and has very little cone power. But then I realized that you can win pretty fast if you activate a shield and just ram into everyone. Some of the times I got here were pretty crazy too. Right? Wait, did I finish a minute on the... What? Wait, what? Nice. Look at that time! What are these times I'm getting? The Ultimate Cone Trial was a bit longer. You have to pass through 20 gates to win, which the CPUs will never do. But on some tracks, aka the backyard, is just not built for this kind of tournament. Again, there's very few gates here, and after you pass through one, you have to wait a little while for them to light up again. I think they start to light back up after a certain amount on the track are cleared, but the CPUs make an effort to take any lone gate that you're about to pass through after running around the track finding nothing. But if you have some spare time on your hands, it'll take like an hour or less to get through all these remaining tournaments. After clearing the board with first place finishes, nothing happened because it's a $4 Burger King game. But I made the effort to let the staff credits roll, so I could have a spot to say that you can beat Pocket Bike Racer only using Flow. Thank you all so much for watching. To celebrate this victory, I decided to take my character's word for it and try Junior Whopper size for my very first time. I'm actually not a big Burger King fan. I usually don't feel good after eating their food, but I had to say, the Junior Whopper was pretty tasty. I'd definitely get that again. As for Pocket Bike Racer, I can't lie to you all. It was a lot of fun. The challenge was all in the 50cc standard and ultimate races, which is hilarious given that they're the slowest ones out of the bunch. But they proved to be nothing to sneeze at. You're pretty much screwed if you don't choose a faster bike, or at least boost. Though boosting would have turned this into an hour, maybe 2 hour long venture. Actually, that may not be the case, because I roughly spent 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 15 seconds on loading screens alone. Though for a $4 game that I got on eBay for $2, this was a good time for the value, and I'm sure it would make for an even better time with friends. It also has an oddly decent soundtrack. Some I can't play because of copyright, but I found myself enjoying the 45-second loops of randomly selected music in every race. I'm not sure if there's much I can do with the other 2 Burger King games, but I'd love to play them. If you'd like to see a challenge video on those, your thoughts and opinions are always more than welcome. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, I stream all of my challenge runs live on my Twitch channel and here on YouTube. If you'd like to check that out, be sure to subscribe or follow me on Twitch. The link to my Twitch channel, along with links to my other social media accounts, can be found in the description. If there's a challenge run you'd like to see, you can also check out the description for a direct link where you can submit your ideas. Thanks again for watching, everyone. See you in the next video. Biazura, Biazura, Biazura! It's the grand champion! I got nothing else to do in this race. I just gotta practice my dumb voices.